Hi, my name is Avril Ubau. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Nicaragua. My journey with acting, it began with theater in my school. I was in third grade when the theater teacher chose me and other two girls to perform a poem in the national theater of our country. And during the process of preparation and the day of the presentation, I always felt this enormous passion about it. So the next year, when I was in fourth grade, the first thing I did when I went to school was to ask the teacher if I could be part of the theater group. And well, she said yes. And from that day on, and for the next 8 years, until the day of my graduation, I was part of the theater group of my school. And well, nowadays, after 4 years, we all got into lockdown. And during the first months of it, I always daydreamed. And while I was daydreaming, I was talking to myself alone, practicing my English because my first language is Spanish. And I always kept imagining myself, in all these talk shows as a famous actress promoting movies. And one day I just stumbled upon an ad of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts on Facebook. And I said, interesting. But I didn't do anything right away. And after a week of thinking about it, I said to myself, Avril, you've been daydreaming about being an actress, for the last 4 months? And this may be your chance to do something about it, to get it done. This your opportunity to make your dream come true. Because if you don't try at least, the dream will stay just as that, a dream. So here I am, trying to take the chance, to take this opportunity. Thank you very much for it. And well, I will be presenting 2 monologues. The first one, The Applicant by Sylvia Plath. And the second one is Stephanie's monologue with her psychotherapist from the play Duet for One by Tom Kempinski. Thank you. First, are you sort of a person? Do you wear a glass eye, false teeth or a crutch, a brace or a hook, rubber breasts or a rubber crotch, stitches to show something's missing? No? Then how can we give you a thing? Stop crying. Open your hand. Empty? Empty. Here's a hand to fill it and willing to bring teacups and roll away headaches and do whatever you tell it. Will you marry it? It is guaranteed to thumb shut your eyes at the end and dissolve of sorrow. We make new stock from the salt. I notice that you are stark naked. How about this suit? Black and stiff, but not a bad fit. Will you marry it? It is waterproof, shatterproof, proof against fire and bombs through the roof. Believe me, they'll bury you in it. Now your head, excuse me, is empty. I have the ticket for that. Come here, sweetie, out of the closet. Well, what do you think of that? Naked as paper to start. But in 25 years, she'll be silver, and in 50, gold. A living doll everywhere you look. It can sew, it can cook, it can talk. It works. There's nothing wrong with it. You have a hole, it's a poultice. You have an eye, it's an image. My boy, it's your last resort. Will you marry it, marry it, marry it? My grandfather gave me my first violin when I was 4 years old. Can you believe it? 4 years old. It burned in the blades of 44, bursted into flames right in front of my eyes. I literally had to be dragged out of the house. The whole thing came tumbling down about me. My mother was in it. I cried more about the violin than I did about her. Can you believe that? Anyway, when I recovered enough to feel anything at all, I realized it wasn't the violin that I needed, but the music itself. And I hadn't lost that. At least, not yet. Last week, I was in the kitchen chopping up something for a stew or something, and I looked down and saw myself chopping up my fingers instead. I mean, it was really quite ridiculous. I was chopping them up into neat little piles, blood pouring out of the ends, and I just went on chopping methodically. Doctor, I want you to make it stop. I mean, my hands, any day now, it all could stop. I don't know when. How could I possibly know when? But there's gotta be some method, some trick. Otherwise, this concert, any concert, how could I possibly get up on stage? It would be impossible. Succumb to our fear or confront it directly. Brilliant. Where did you learn that, doctor? Did they teach you to say it in medical school?